Good feels, take one. I feel good. Do you feel good? Well, if you don't, Good Feels is one of my favorite sponsors. This is the brand that you have to get. They sent me a care package. I love it. They sent me gummies and mood boosters because everybody needs their mood boosted every once in a while. So thank you so much. Mwah. I love your brand. I love it. Use my code DANGER. Get yourself some. Thank you so much, Good Feels. You are my favorite sponsor. Mwah. And now, on to the episode. It's going to be a good one, everybody, so buckle up, stay tuned. Let's go. Okay, inquisitive minds, have you ever walked into a room, looked around, and realized you're the only woman there? Not one of many, not part of the group, the only one standing. That moment when everyone else already knows each other, the conversation shifts when you walk in, and suddenly you're carrying more than just your ideas. You're carrying the pressure to represent, to perform, to prove you belong. Today's episode is about that moment because being the only girl in the room can either make you invisible or unstoppable. Guess which one I am? Today on Dangerously Honest, we're going to dig in, so buckle up, Buttercup. Welcome back, everybody, to Dangerously Honest. I'm Lorraine Lewis, and today we're talking about something that a lot of women experience, but not everyone talks about openly. Botox. Just kidding, but hey, on Dangerously Honest, I get dangerously honest, and I'm going to be real with y'all. I had some Botox last week, and my peas are like, I don't know, I can't make a pee. But anyway, I look good, so that's all that matters. But let's get real. Being the only girl in the room in rock and roll, in business, in creative industries, and honestly, in life, there are moments when you walk into a situation and realize the odds are a little tilted. But here's the thing. Being the only girl in the room isn't always a disadvantage. Sometimes it's a superpower because when you're the only one there, you have two choices. You shrink or you take up space. And my guest today knows exactly what that experience feels like. Later on in the show, I speak with actress, creative powerhouse, and someone who's built a career navigating male-dominated spaces without losing her voice or her sex appeal. My friend, Sam Doumit. Can't wait. But first, here's my no-filter memory. But hold on a second. I'm feeling that I want to jump into a gummy right about now from my good friends over at Good Feels. You want to join me? I think I need one of these for this segment. Gummy, pop it in your mouth. Delish. All right. It's time for No Filter Memory. And this one takes me back to a moment that honestly shaped how I walk into a room now. Early in my career, I remember walking into a meeting. Big room, big table, big egos. And I looked around and realized I was the only woman there. The very first time I met Howard Kaufman, who became my manager. Howard Kaufman was a very, very prominent person in the LA music scene. I wasn't intimidated to meet him at all, but I had been told by his secretary, he's a tough man, he's very busy, he might not have time for you, he might give you 5 minutes. I walked into that room owning my outfit that I got at Goodwill Industries and just made friends with him immediately. I mean, I walked in, legs showing, shorties, boots, cowboy boots, and just a smile and an attitude like, I'm here, I'm fearless, let's go. I ended up sitting on his desk. I remember going through his pencils, hanging out with him. He was like my BFF all of a sudden. We had so much fun, so much great things to talk about. I ended up staying there for close to an hour. So never diminish yourself. You never know what you're going to walk into. But if you have confidence, even though I was wearing hand-me-downs from Goodwill Industries, I knew who I was. I knew I had a purpose. I knew I wanted Howard to manage me. And that's exactly what happened. He managed me, got me a record deal. I mean, the red carpet rolled out for me. So don't ever be afraid to walk into that room knowing who you are. I've done it many, many times. And I do like to, before I walk into a room, give you one of those before you walk into any room. Make yourself laugh, giggle, whatever, and feel powerful and own your effing space. Let's go. Another amazing thing that happened after that meeting with Howard Kaufman, his secretary called me and said, Howard loves you. He wants to manage you. He wants to work with you, but he has one question for you. I was like, okay, what's that? His question was, if I buy her a chest, will she wear it? What do you think my answer was? I said, hell yeah, I came to Hollywood and I'm going to get boobs from Howard Kaufman. Sign me up. And that's exactly what happened. I got fake boobies from Howard Kaufman. The breast is history. After that experience, I had a meeting with Gerald Busby, Howard Kaufman, and Irving Azoff. And I realized the only reason that these men sounded confident was because they were comfortable taking up space. So finally, I jumped in, I said my piece, I shared my perspective, and you know what happened? The room went quiet. And one of the guys looked at me and said, wow, I didn't expect that. And I remember thinking, you didn't expect what? You didn't expect me to be smart, sassy, didn't expect me to have an opinion? Or you didn't expect the only woman in the room to actually own the room. And that's exactly what I did. That moment taught me something I've carried with me ever since. Sometimes people underestimate you, me, before you've even opened your mouth. And honestly, that's not a disadvantage. That's an opportunity, especially if you treat it that way. Because when you finally speak, you can completely change the energy in the room. I love that feeling. Bottom line, I didn't let those men in those suits intimidate me. I knew who I was. I was Lorraine Lewis getting a record deal and being a rock star. And I owned that energy. And you know what? They joined me and they wanted me on their label. I flipped the script on them. And you too can do the exact same thing. It's just a mindset. You have to own your space. You got to own your power. Walk into that room with confidence. Prepare and make yourself feel powerful, whatever it takes. 10 feet tall, put high heels on, whatever it takes to feel good. Jiggle a little bit when you walk in the room and own yourself. Usually on Dangerously Honest, we put the guest on the hot seat, but today it's my turn. This segment is called The Honest Hotline. No PR answers, no safe answers, just real honesty. Have you ever walked into a room and immediately felt like you weren't taken seriously? Of course I felt like that. I feel like that sometimes when I walk into Starbucks and everybody looks at me. It doesn't matter to me what people think. They can stare. I mean, I definitely put on a show wherever I go, so I just let it roll off of me because bottom line is I'm having fun. I'm living my life to the fullest, and you should too. And if you have a question that you want to ask me, please do so at dangerouslyyhonestpod@gmail.com. And your question might get on the air. Have you ever had to work twice as hard just to prove you deserve to be there? Hell yeah, I can answer that right away. Yes, I have felt like that many times. A lot of times that happens when I'm doing a sound check with a bunch of men. But I love it when I look back and there's a female behind the board and we kind of look at each other like, we got this. There's something special about the camaraderie of a woman. And I'm not saying that all women are like that, but when you're on the road and on tour, it's really refreshing to see a female behind the board that knows what the F she's doing. She'll be my BFF forever. What's one moment in your career where someone underestimated you and you proved them wrong? I would say this has happened to me so many times. When I've walked into the studio with producers, I walk in and most of the time people have thought, oh, she's just a bombshell, boobs and brass kind of a thing. But I really know how to sing. I really can sing. And I'll tell you of a moment that this happened when I was in the studio with a band in Boston. And the sound engineer didn't think that he had the audio on in the room. And I could hear what the guys were saying. And they said out loud, I don't think she can hit that note. I don't think she can sing that high. And guess what? I did. And I sang it 7 times in a row just to nail it, to show them that, yes, I can do this. They ended up putting it on their record, and they rave about me to this day. So, wham, there you go. I remember to this day, I mean, dudes, I sang the crap out of it. Like, I sang to the rafters. I surprised myself. I really surprised myself. I just sang my guts out and nailed it. And I loved it. It felt so good to do that. So you have mud on your face, and I am an angel. Okay, another question. What's one thing that women are told to tone down that you refuse to tone down? And I know the answer to this question right away. And it's about my boobs. Tone down my boobs. Everyone wants me to tone down my boobs, but they're beautiful, they're soft, and they're bouncy, and I love them. Why tone down boobs? Boobs rule, and you know it as well as I do. Admit it. Anyway, while we sit on that for a minute, let's have a little fun, shall we? Let's play Fuck, Marry, Kill, Rockstar Edition. Woo! In this first round, I'm going to mention 3 rock stars that I'm going to decide fuck, marry, or kill. See if you can decide who I'm going to be shouting out. I don't want to play this game alone. You're going to have to join me. So let me know who you would fuck, marry, or kill. Message me in the comments. Round 1, John Bon Jovi, Lenny Kravitz, Steven Tyler. This is easy. Let's start with the F. Let's fuck. I'm going to be fucking Lenny Kravitz. For sure, because he is hot. He's ripped. I heard he hasn't had sex in like a year or 2. So that could be wild. Anyway, we're just imagining. Don't freak out, everybody. Lenny's not calling me. Anyway, that's who I would F. Lenny Kravitz. Marry? Ooh, I'm marrying Steven Tyler. And I'm marrying Steven Tyler because he's so beautiful. He seems like he needs a good woman to travel with, to have fun with, to maybe braid his beard. I don't know, but I think I could be that girl. So I'm marrying Steven Tyler. Who would I kill? I'm going to kill John Bon Jovi. I don't know. I think he's great. I think he's amazing. I'm not going for the gray hair. I just don't dig the gray hair. I liked it when it was all flowy and hot. Okay, we're just getting started. For round 2, let's decide who I'm going to fuck, marry, or kill. David Grohl, Mick Jagger, Prince. This was a little bit more challenging because Mick and Prince, I so respect you and think you're amazing. Who am I effing? I'm effing Prince, hands down. Prince, because he's so beautiful with the ladies. I know he knows how to treat the ladies, so I'm all about Prince. I'm effing Prince. I'm marrying Mick Jagger. And why am I marrying Mick Jagger? I'm marrying Mick Jagger because he just seems like a good soul. He seems funny. He's full of life. I think we would have a blast. We'd probably get a bunch of dogs or a bunch of donkeys or cows or who knows what. But yeah, I'm marrying Mick Jagger. And who am I offing? Who am I killing? I'm killing, sorry, Dave Grohl. And why am I going to kill Dave Grohl? Because I love the music. Foo Fighters rule. I love Dave's voice. I'm killing Dave because he cheated on his wife. If you don't want to be with someone, end it. Walk away. But effing behind somebody's back when they have no idea, not cool. So, bye-bye. Round 3. This is great. Girl Power Edition. Stevie Nicks, Debbie Harry, Joan Jett. Wow. 3 biggies. This is really, really tough. I think the bottom line is I'm going to F all of them. Stevie, Debbie, and Joan. I'm going to F them all because they are hot biatches and they are beautiful and they are amazing performers. So that's going down. Who am I going to marry? I think I'm going to marry Stevie Nicks. I think I'd marry Stevie because just a beautiful woman, beautiful soul. We could drink tea and write songs together. Anyway, that's who I would marry. And who I would kill? Sorry, babes, I'm not killing any of you because you are staples of music in the U.S. and around the world. I honor you and I adore you and I respect you. So nobody's getting killed in this round. Would I make a good job for these ladies? And my typical Libra answer is both. Wild card round. Fuck, marry, kill. And our choices? Ozzy Osbourne, Bret Michaels, Slash, Okay, let's start with Ozzy. I'm marrying you, Ozzy. I would love to marry you. And why would I marry Ozzy Osbourne? I love the relationship that he had with Sharon. It was beautiful. It was like honeymoon, but real life at the same time. He would call her out every once in a while, and I really liked that, and I appreciated their relationship. So I think Ozzy is marriage material. Who would I F? That's really tough. Am I effing Bret Michaels? I don't know. I mean, I dated Ricky Rocket back in the day. Does that get weird? So yeah, I don't think I can do that. So I guess if I have to choose one, I'm effing Slash. Oh, but is he married? Oh, dang. I don't want to do that, but I got to play the game. So I'm playing to win. Anyway, and then I guess that means I'm offing / killing Bret Michaels. I don't really want to kill Bret Michaels, but man, if I have to hear that song, Nothing But a Good Time, one more time, when somebody's feeling good, I don't even know. Anyway, I'm totally joking. It's a kick-ass song and I use it myself. Anyway, thanks, Bret, for playing along. Ozzy, Bret / I love you all. Respect. Woo! It is getting hot in here. We need a break. I need a break. And so I'm going to reach for... My friends over at Good Feels have me feeling good today. Today's guest knows exactly what it means to walk into a room and realize you're the only woman there. And still choose not to shrink. She's an actress, a writer, and creative force who's built a career by trusting her own voice, owning her space, and refusing to wait for permission. Whether she's on a set, in a writer's room, or leading a project of her own, she understands the quiet power dynamics that shape industries and how to navigate them without losing yourself. This conversation is about presence, resilience, and what happens when you stop trying to fit into the room and start redefining it. My guest today, please welcome the one and only Sam Doumit. Sammy, I'm so effing happy that you're here. We haven't seen each other in a long time. I think I remember the last time we saw each other, I was drinking champagne in your kitchen, eating vegan cheese or something.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, but it's so great to see you. Thank you so much. You look amazing.
As do you.
Well,
Hattie.
thank you. I mean, I have a glam team, so I got to give them a shout out. Glam Squad, giving you a shout out. You do help me look good on set, and I appreciate it. And I will say this outfit that I'm wearing is from Akira. And what I do is I buy things off the internet, and then I take them to my tailor and have them fit them to my body and make any adjustments that I think are needed. And then it's mine, like I created it myself. So anyway, I'm really happy that you're here. You are actually my very first on-camera guest to walk into the studio.
I'm so honored.
Applause! Sammy, I really want you to try this brand new drink called Good Feels. They are actually sponsoring this episode today, which is so exciting. They are my first sponsor, and I couldn't be happier. There is a code that you can use, DANGER, to get a discount. So cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Sam, we're going to have like a real conversation about what it's like to be a woman in some of the rooms that you've been in, and then I'll share some of my experiences with you as well. I've always thought of you with respect. You're a baddie. Obviously, you were on Shameless, the amazing show Shameless, and such a great actress. You've done so many things. Your IMDb is long, and I am so honored to call you a friend and to have you here. But we really want to talk today about what it is like to be the only woman in the room. And I want to know the pluses and the minuses on your end, and then I'll kind of share my stuff with you as well.
Well, I feel it's a power position when I'm the only girl in the room, because I have so much more than men have. If you realize as a woman, and I know you do, we're in control, we're in power. I've never thought of myself as less than a man. I've always just known myself as smarter than men. I mean, we're emotionally intelligent. Yeah. There's, like you said, there's a lot of girls that shrink themselves I just take that as a power position.
I love that. I've never really heard it put that way. And I think I'm going to start seeing it that way for myself, because it is. But, sometimes you walk into a room, there's a lot of men there, and, you can either kind of be, subtle with your things that you're trying to get out of your mouth. You can kind of shrink, like you said, or you can just own that shit and just, and that's how I've always known you, is to do that. And I've been very much the same way. But also at the same time, there is an empowerment that comes with it, but there's also something that I like to do with other women, is try to embolden them and empower them as well. Although I really do like to be the only woman in the room.
I do.
You do?
Yes. I'm just kind of a down-to-earth, straightforward girl, like you are. That's why we connect. I don't sugarcoat things, small talk. Like, I can't, like, it's like, what are we going to do? Like, when we were talking today, I'm like, oh, Lorraine, we could do this, we could do that, we could produce this, we could do that. It's just like, if you're not, creating, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So it's just, I think that when I'm the only woman, we can when I'm the only woman, I can just cut to the chase and, I just see it as a power position. I think also because I feel smarter, stronger, that I just kind of, no offense, but like, men are kind of,
say it, men are
I
what?
feel like they're kind of dumb, they're like sweet little puppy dogs, you know what I mean? And I train them.
I love that. Yeah, I mean, I respect men for sure. I actually love men very, very much, but I love being the person that's holding, court. I love being the person that comes in with ideas, and I like men listening to me. And if they're not going to listen to me, I'm going to throw off a vibe like, you really should be listening to me. I'm not bitchy about it. I'm just commanding in a room,
Yeah, well, I think for me, what it is I know that I have something that they don't have.
Yeah, yeah.
I walk in and, they're all the same, and I have things that they don't have.
And pizzazz and charm and fun and knowledge and history.
Exactly.
And you come in with
experience that they don't have.
Exactly.
It's like, it's everything.
Yes.
It's all the female girl stuff on the outside, but it's also my experience, my history. You'll never know what it's like.
Yeah.
I say that to men all the time. You're never going to know what it's like to go through the things that we go through.
But one thing that I've noticed when I'm on the road, when you're setting up or sound checks, I mean, you really get disregarded. Like, so much so. Like, I experienced it. I was in Las Vegas doing a show with Phil Soussan and Stacey Blades and Troy Patrick Farrell. We were flown out to do a private show for some Peruvians. And they were really great guys, and it was awesome. But we're setting up, and I watched how the men commanded the soundboard to do what they wanted them to do. And I wasn't used to that, because so many times I've been on stage and they just kind of like, it's good enough, or, no, or, they the power of their no, they're not going to help you. And I hate that about being a woman in that environment. And it doesn't happen all the time, but when it does, it really stings. I might need a little bit more mid-range, a little bit of high. I mean, I know what my voice sounds like. I know how it sounds good in the room. Listen to me, listen to me. I really know what I'm talking about. When I go behind the soundboard and they just kind of like, not now, or we'll get to you, oh, it makes me so angry. And I remember watching Phil Soussan tell the sound man, I need more of her. I need more of her in the monitors. I need more of her. And he didn't stop until he got what he wanted. And Stacey did the same thing. And so for me, I've taken that with me. And if you're not going to listen to me, I'm going to keep repeating until you listen to me and hear what I have to say. And not in a bitchy, mean way, but just have some respect. I know what I'm talking about. Like, let's do this. Let's work together. But we got to work together and communicate on it to make it happen. So that's been my experience on the road. So
I think I have this thing. I kind of stop the room when somebody's not listening to me or disregarding me. I think I have this look that comes on my face, this vibe that comes. I'm just like, really? Like, nothing continues. I just like, I can't believe. Are you serious? And they feel stupid because like we're not moving, and it's just this, this angsty,
this awkward
vibe.
Yeah.
I just like, this. It's a brooding, angsty. Like, are you serious? Like, and then I'm persistent.
That's the key.
And
That's it.
It's just because I know.
You know what you know.
I know what I know, and I know I'm right. All the time.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I agree 100%. So I just, that's been my experience. Like I said, it doesn't happen all the time, but it's good to hear that you feel it and that you still want to take control of the room. So high five. One of the things that I love so much about you is your punk rockness.
Yeah.
And not everybody knows that from you, being an actress and all of the things that you've done. But I do want to bring up Suicide Girls.
Yeah.
And I want to bring up that the Suicide Girls emblem is your face that was drawn with the cute pigtails and the SG. That is Sam, like forever. Like that is your immortalized, what's the word?
Yeah, immortalized.
Immortalized.
So the way that came about is my friend Sean, he had created my actor website for me, like back in like 1998 when it was the .com. So I was like, I don't know if I need a website, but sure. And so we had a website. It was my headshot. And then about 3 years later, he developed Suicide Girls. And what it was another friend of ours had just come out of art school, photographer. And she was like, I've always wanted to do like pinups, like, oops, the dog's like pulling my pants, And he's like, well, yeah, but why don't we do it like modern, edgy, like punk rock girls like Sam, like purple hair, piercings, not 1950s, but that. She's like, yeah, so that's how that was created. It's from a Chuck Palahniuk book. He said that the girls up in Oregon, Portland, were creating social suicide because they weren't like the perfect cookie cutter, Barbie girls. They had tattoos and piercings and dyed hair, so it was like social suicide.
Yeah.
So that's where the name came from. He used my headshot as the logo, and then I hosted Suicide Girls Radio on Indie 103.1. However, I've never been on the site. Like, my pictures have never been on the site. Sean was like, no, you're not going on there. I'm like your older brother, you're not going to.
But it's kind of a pre-OnlyFans, honestly. I mean, in a lot of ways it is because, they're model. Well, I don't know if you call Suicide Girls models, but they make money.
They're models.
Yeah.
But Sean was one of the first people to create social media.
But I do want to come back to OnlyFans because that platform, even though not everybody agrees with it, but you are in control of your platform. The photos that are on there are photos that I've taken myself, either with selfies or I have professionally done. So it's really up to you what you show, what you don't show on there. It's really up to you, and it's a comfortability that I really love. I mean, I have so much fun with it, and I'm really enjoying it. So for me, I do feel like Suicide Girls was kind of a precursor to OnlyFans because there are girls on OnlyFans that have the look of Suicide Girls. And women are beautiful and should be celebrated on whatever platform and they are on. So I applaud that. Did you ever feel the pressure to soften yourself in those spaces, your opinions, your voice, your presence, just to survive?
Well, yeah, when I first hit Hollywood, my name is Samia. And a lot of people think I'm Samantha or something else. But when I got an agent, and I was always proud of my name, and I never wanted anybody to call me Sam because I'm like, I'm Samia. I'm not a boy. Sam's a boy's name. When I was little. And my agent was like, you just gotta go by Sam. And I'm like, why? And he's like, Samia is too ethnic. And I was like, okay, I guess this guy knows I want to work.
Wow.
I want to work. But like in that same meeting, I said, I don't want to do commercials. I don't want to do television. I just want to do theater and film. Because I was like, I wanted to be like Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, and just say, like I wanted to play all the roles, all the male roles because they were tough. And he was like, oh, no, Sam, the money's in, the TV and the commercials. So in that, they're like, you're going to go out for commercials and TV. And then at one point, I was like, I can't do any more commercial auditions. I can't do it. Because they would be like, profiles, please. And like, it was just like, it felt too constricting. I got the parts, and you'll see it. But like simultaneously, I would get these punk parts because that's who I am. And then I realized like, there's nobody else in Hollywood who can do punk like me, who could do edgy like me. Like at the time there was Fairuza Balk, there was Winona Ryder, but that was, and then there was me. But I think Winona Ryder and Fairuza were the real deal too.
Yeah, for sure.
And piercings up to here, like the purple hair, like all of it, right?
Yeah.
So like I'd get the totally saccharine sweet rolls, and then in the same moment, they would have to like put roots back in my hair, like because I was shooting something else that was punky at the same time. And yeah, there was that pressure to be like other Hollywood girls. But the moment that I kind of got sick of it and I was just like, I'm gonna dye my hair purple again, that was when I was getting bigger and, better roles, because I was being 100%
Yourself.
who I am,
Yes.
not 50% of somebody else.
Yes, that's what it really comes down to, is being your authentic self. And that's when the magic happens.
And nobody else can be you.
They just can't be. They can try, but they cannot be. There is only one Sam Doumit. There's a difference between being invited into the room and being valued in the room. How do you tell the difference?
A lot of times I don't feel invited into the room. I stomp into the room and I prove my value, is pretty much, I have to. I kick down the door and I say, this is why I'm valuable.
I love it.
Like, I have what you don't have.
Yeah. For our listeners today, everybody that's listening who are currently that girl, the one and only girl in the room, what do you think that they need to remember when the room gets quiet, so to speak?
Well, when the room gets quiet, I'm like, oh, they're just all amazed by my awesome femaleness, my brilliance. They're just waiting for me to have, the gold to come out. Yeah, so I just, like, when the room gets quiet, I just think that they're,
in awe.
in awe of me. And it's not an ego thing.
No.
Because I'm certainly, I'm hard on myself. I challenge myself. I'm like, every day, I've got this, like, critical parent going, you could have done better. Why didn't you do that? Blah, blah, blah. And that comes from a place of love. I know, but I'm really hard on myself. I don't think that I'm perfect or that, but I am the best me. Yeah. And that's who I know that I am.
But you basically flip the script in the room then. You basically okay, it's quiet, all eyes are on me.
Yeah, right? So I'm an actor, so it's like, oh, they're all looking at me.
They're all looking at me. I'm fantastic. Yeah. I'm doing great. Everybody's loving what I'm doing. No matter what comes out of my mouth, it's gold. So
totally. And I don't ever get scared, like, oh, I'm supposed to say something here. I'm just like, okay, everybody's just, waiting for me. You know what I mean? So I think, like, a minute ago you were like, when I don't know, places where you don't feel confident or you're not going to bullshit your way. And that made me think, like, do I bullshit my way? No, because I don't want to, there's things that I go into and I'm like, I have no idea how to do this. For example, like the Valley 80s. Yeah, because on Indie 103.1, I had my own engineer. And I didn't have to worry about anything. I showed up, I had a producer, I would say, no, Cole, I want this guest, I want that guest, and she'd get them, and then my engineer would take care of everything, and I just showed up, and I just talked. Like you. Yes,
I have a team behind me, you know this, yes.
And coming into the Valley 80s, I thought that would be the same. The studio's deep in the valley, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna wanna do this at my own comfort of my own home or whatever. I travel a lot, so I want to do it on the road. But we're live at Tuesdays, 9 a.m. Pacific time. So it's not like it's, you can catch it again later. So.
It's live. It's you do the show, it's done.
When I do the show, it's done.
Can't hear it anywhere else.
You can't hear it anywhere else. So it's 9 a.m. on iHeartRadio on Tuesdays. Pacific time. That was like all backwards, but it's fine. So I knew, like, oh, if I'm traveling, I have to be able to do the show. So our station manager was like, this is how you're going to do it. And I'm looking at the system going, I have to train myself.
Wow.
And I didn't say anything. I'm like, okay, I'm just like, okay, how do I do that? What do I do? What equipment do I need? And I just got it. And there was a little bit of fear there. Like, I don't understand any of this.
Yeah.
This is mathematical. But now I rock it. Like, I edit that stuff and I just rock it. Or I looked at the log for the first time, like all these songs. It was, on Indie 103.1, I would say, Jessica, play this song. Jessica, play that song. And it would just happen. But now I get this log, and I'm just like, what am I going to say about this song? What am I going to say about that? And
You're
it was
in
overwhelming.
Control.
But now I'm in control. And again, I'm in control, and I love it. And I've learned a new skill that I didn't know. And it's just like, it reaffirms that am an intelligent, capable,
Yeah.
wonderful,
Yes.
creative human being. And I say that because a lot of times it's like, that inner voice is like, Sam, you know what you're doing. Like, but
you
I
do.
challenge myself and I surprise myself, and it's,
You
I just
walk through the
don't
door,
shrink.
you get to the other side, you don't shrink, and you
Don't
learn
shrink.
something and you own it. And now you're producing your own show.
Yeah.
And that's huge.
And Kevin Haskins from Bauhaus listens to my show, loves it, called me, and we talked for like 40
What?
minutes.
What?
And I was just like, never in my life, when I was like a 15-year-old teen goth in a club, thinking that, you know, Kevin Haskins or anybody from Bauhaus would call me on the phone and like my show.
That is amazing. High five on that. That's so cool. I love it.
Oh, I wanted to tell you. Okay, so I was at Sundance, and Kim Gordon from Sonic Youth and Kathleen Hanna from Bikini Kills were promoting a documentary that they're in, and it's about being the only woman in the room. So it was really busy at Sundance, and I said, I went up to him because I'm not afraid. Nobody else went up to him, and I was like, hey, so I have a radio show on the Valley 80s, and they were like, oh yeah, talk to my manager, just go through my manager, and they were about to get ushered off, and I'm like, wait, I am the only girl on this radio station. And they go, wait, what's it called? And I said, it's the Valley 80s. And they're like, what's your name? And I'm like, Sam. And then they go, record. And so they recorded a station ID, which is like, this is Kathleen Hanna from Bikini Kills, and you're listening to Sam on the Valley 80s. And then Kim Gordon from Sonic Youth did the same thing. This is Kim Gordon from Sonic Youth. You're listening to Sam on the Valley 80s. And that's girls stepping up, epic, like legendary girls like you in, just empowering other females.
Yes, lifting other women up, which is a beautiful thing. But I will say, you also took control of that situation. You didn't shrink. You didn't back down. You were like, no, I have something to say. I have something important to say. And they listened, and that's a beautiful thing. So high fives on that.
Yeah, well, when, the door shut or the ceiling is coming down and it's like, no, you got to talk to my manager. I'm like, but wait.
I know, I hate that.
We're connected. And that's another thing I think that where that power comes from is that we're humans. We have the same human experience. We are afraid, we're alone, we're sad, we're confused. We're all little kids inside feeling those same things. And I just always see us as little kids that are getting like shut up by the world.
Yeah,
you know
by
what I
mom
mean?
and dad.
Yeah.
Quiet, go to your room.
Yeah, by the world. And it's like, that. I just keep that little girl that's creative and imaginative inside of me. And like she connects to the other child inside of you. And I'm like, but I'm the only girl on this radio station, and I know you understand that.
It's a huge deal. Huge
so
deal.
it's finding that connection.
Yeah, I love that. Oh, Sam, I just have to put my cards down and say thank you so very much.
Oh my
touch,
gosh,
touch,
I
touch.
love you.
I love you too. Thank you for being my very
gosh.
first guest on my show.
I'm so honored.
You were the most perfect guest to have on here because you are so deep with your creativity, your art, and I'm so proud to call you a friend.
I love you.
Cheers.
Cheers, and
Good feels.
good feels.
Woo, all the way, baby.
Good feels, and listen to the Valley 80s on Tuesday, 9 a.m. Pacific time on iHeartRadio.
Get it. Got it. Good. Cheers. Sam, thank you so much for that great conversation. I love that you are my friend. What I love the most about that conversation is being the only girl in the room isn't always about fighting for space. Sometimes it's about realizing that the room needed your energy, your voice. Thanks for watching Dangerously Honest with me, Lorraine Lewis. I bring these episodes to you every week, and toodles. We'll see you next time.